So you've come across this video, it's because you want to glow up, you finally want to get into your makeup bag, you no longer want to book a makeup artist, you want to just do it yourself and you want to do it quickly. You're in the right place because I've got you. I've been a makeup artist now for around 6-7 years, I believe. So with that being said, I'm just going to dive straight into this video and I'm going to give you all my tips and tricks on how it is you can achieve my everyday full face beat. First thing I'm going to go in with are some cleansing wipes. Best believe when I tell you this makeup routine is going to be the easiest makeup routine that you've ever come across. It's going to be one of the easiest makeup routines you've ever come across. Makeup does not need to be complicated. One step at a time. Let's do it. I've been back and forth from my house and my mum's house since Christmas until now. So everything that I use, I have like two types of faces in here. I have my everyday face, which is more of like a glammy full face beat. And then I have like another everyday face, which is more of a natural tone, like nothing much is going on, we're just trying to enhance the features. Today though, we are focusing on an everyday full face beat. I'm gonna be going in with my two favorite moisturizers. When I find something that I like, I never know whether I should either use that one or use that one. The two moisturizers that I'm gonna be using today is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream and the Bobbi Brown Enriched Face Base. When I'm putting on my face cream, I also like to avoid putting any on my eyebrows, only because that's what I'm going to be starting off first, whilst all of this moisturizer literally soaks into my skin. Never forget your neck either. Always moisturize your neck. The Bobbi Brown moisturizer is what I put on second, and this actually gives me like primer vibes. I could use this alone without a primer, do a full face beat, and my makeup would just melt, and it smells so good. Why does it smell so good? Let's not also forget that we have to moisturize our lips so that towards the end our lips are not looking crusty and dry. Let's dive into brows. Every time I see a really good look and I want to recreate it, I go razor happy. Like, I'm not even mapping anymore, I'm literally just razoring my brows from different sort of angles. My brows are kind of crazy right now. I want to go in with the NYX the brow glue gel, and what this does is basically just styles my brow hairs into place. Now I'm going to go in with a shade that's one shade lighter than my foundation shade and conceal my brows. I use the H&B Soft Focus Airbrush Concealer in SF 3.5N. N stands for neutral, by the way. I low-key feel like it's kind of like my exact shade, and I just need to go probably a shade lighter. I definitely need to make a separate brow tutorial for this video. I'm so sorry, but my hands are just super shaky today. Let's move on to primer. Last year they came out with so many primers, but you can never go wrong with the e.l.f. Power Gripping Primer. It's just such a really good primer. It was actually a dupe for the Milk Gripping Primer, but I am so sorry to say I do not want to be one of those people that just hops on everybody else's trend. I did not like it, and this one kind of really outdoes that Milk Gripping Primer. Yeah, this will grip your makeup. Sometimes you shouldn't be so quick to jump on the bandwagons, let me tell you for free. With this primer, I literally place it anywhere that I oil the most, and that mainly is not necessarily my forehead, but my nose. My nose is my biggest hater. Foundation wise, I'm gonna go in with the Lancome 24 Hour Ultra Wear Foundation. This is my exact shade. I had so many compliments on this one TikTok video that I made ages ago. I've had this for so long and I've slept on this foundation. It's brand new, just slept on. And I just picked it up one day thinking, let me just try it, and fell in love with it. I don't know what shade this is other than it is in the shade 08. The only thing is that apparently they have updated their formula, so they don't actually go by 08. A little goes a long way. You don't need much of the foundation. 2 squirts is enough, but don't be afraid to put that makeup on. And I'm just gonna apply it here so you can see that is just like shade. My face is just so pale, but I prefer to have like an airbrushed finish, a nice little buffer effect. I've always wanted to look like this like Barbie doll figure. Like, my face is like literally so smooth to the point that it looks like a filter. I feel like it's all based off the type of brush that you use, and I like to use this like flat brush. I have like different alternatives of a flat brush that I use, but they're all very similar to this one brush, which is the Real Techniques 241 brush. You don't necessarily need to swipe either, you just have to do like tapping. Especially as you have that primer on there that's very gripping, you really want to marry the primer and foundation together. So we're literally just pressing, like pushing, no swiping, pressing. Whatever product is left on my brush, I will bring it down towards my neck and towards my ears. You should have something like this. There's a new beauty product like every 3 seconds. Every day there is something new, and let's be honest, we do not have the pocket yet to afford something that comes out every single day. So use what it is that you have, and if you can afford to get those little small bits and pieces that are like drugstore prices, buy it. If there's a great sale for like high-end stuff and you see, oh my god, $100 off, 90% off, 50% off, buy it. But do so in moderation, please, because we are glowing up this year in every single area in our lives. Starting off with our makeup, I'm gonna kind of just warm up my face ever so slightly with the Hourglass foundation stick. I'm using the shade Golden Almond. A little of this product goes such a long way. You don't need so much, and I'm basically just applying it from my ears to here, to the end of my eye. I'm gonna put some on my nose, a tiny bit on my forehead, and then if I really want to make it like slightly darker, you know, I've got my curved cases on deck. I actually use both shades. I really wish they could make one in between. I go in with another fluffy brush. This is the Peaches and Cream PC15 brush. It's literally so creamy. The way it just blends out is just so nice. I should really take this off. There's nothing really going on. I just felt like it felt good. And I'm gonna buff this into my hairline. With the nose, this can be as messy as possible because we're gonna do small highlighting anyways. I feel like on the camera you can't really see what it is that I'm doing. I feel like I should go slightly darker just for content purposes. I'm gonna go in with the medium curve case, and I'm literally just gonna go in with this darker shade here, and I'm gonna warm it up on my finger, and I'm literally just gonna place one dot there and one dot here, only making it darker so you have a slight idea of what it is that you need to be achieving when you're blending out your bronzer, contour, etc. You want to just tap it and keep it in place. You don't want to spread it up, you don't want to spread it down, you don't want to put it everywhere, but just try and keep it in place and like buffer it. Sometimes you can buff it up, but also remember that you also be going in with a blush anyways. For blush, I'm going to use the curve case again, but I'm going to go in with this shade. So I'm going to place it like right here. I'm going to make it slightly darker, and I'm going to go in with this shade right here. I'm going to place it in the same areas. You can use a clean brush of the same kind for this part, or you can go in with a fluffy brush or a beauty blender. I'm using the Coco Cosmetics beauty blender. I'm gonna blend it all the way out to the top of my ears and underneath my eyes, just to get like that diffused blush look. A tiny bit to the tip of my nose. Go back in with your contour brush just so that it doesn't overpower it. I'm using the same concealer I used to conceal my brows with. If you crease underneath your eyes already, you don't want to place the concealer straight away there. Instead, we're just gonna bring it here and then bring it down here and fill out. The nose line preferably needs to be as thin as possible, because when you blend that out, it's gonna make the nose slightly wider anyway. Going with the Morphe finishing spray. This was actually a recommendation from my favorite MUAs. You should spray the concealers into place because it kind of like melts into the skin flawlessly. There are 3 techniques that I recommend when blending out your concealer, and that is either using a beauty blender. There are only 2 types of beauty blenders that I will ever use, and it is the Kamana Beauty / Coco Cosmetics beauty blender and the black beauty blenders from Shein. Don't come for me, but the Shein beauty blenders, they are slept on. The other techniques are using a small cute little fluffy brush like this. This is the Real Techniques brush. It's a setting brush in 402. The other brush I recommend is this brush, and this brush is actually from Shein. Blend out the edges of the concealer. Just blend out the edges. You can be as rough as you want with this. Again, have fun when you're applying your makeup. I feel like if you're not having fun whilst applying your makeup, the makeup is not going to come out right. And if you're going to rush your makeup as well, again, the makeup is not going to come out right either. I've noticed that every single time that I've taken my time to do my makeup, I finish on time, and I've never like gone over time. You might as well just take your time. Put on some music and have fun. And now for the under eye, this should be like really dried down, and what you want to do is have a mirror and have it like really up, and you want to look up into that mirror and blend out underneath this eye. That is literally us kind of diffusing out the edges, so we have it really diffused out the center of the concealer. You should have something like this. Last year I managed to add a new concealer to my kit, and that is Milani the Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealer. This concealer, why did I not buy this sooner? The way it just makes my eyes look so cute, flawless. I'm gonna place it on top of everywhere else. This is a very neutral concealer as well. I only place it in areas that I want to highlight. I'm now going to go in with the beauty blender, blend out that under eye. Oh my god, my beauty blender is broken. How embarrassing. Going back with the end of the beauty blender we used for blush, and we're just going to bring back the blush into its place. And then the nose. This is what you should currently have. Now it's time for setting powder. I'm a Laura Mercier stan, but you see the Huda Beauty powder? There is some sort of, there's some sort of seed in here. So we're going to actually use this one today. Blend out back underneath the eyes, getting rid of any creases. And what you want to do is get that same beauty blender. You can get a powder puff if you want to. Me personally, I don't really see a difference. I pat it off and then I place it by pressing it in back and forth into my eye. And that is my first layer. Getting the concealer to know that yes, we want to mat you down and stay into place. And then the second layer now will be slightly thicker. This is us now setting the makeup in place. We're going to bring it closer to the nose and we're going to literally set that. I feel like I put slightly too much on, but it's okay. And then I'll just place the powder anywhere else that I've put concealer, but I'll literally just press it in to my face, so I'm not exactly baking. If you oil in any certain places, that's when I would recommend bake slightly there, like how I'm doing underneath my eyes. My nose, I'm doubling up because this is where I oil the most. I am slightly a bit extra and I really like that matte look, so I'm gonna go in with the MAC Studio Fix powder foundation, and I'm just gonna powder like underneath in other areas in which I did not set my face. I'm in the shade NC42. You're gonna want to use like a big rounded fluffy brush for this part if you decide that you want to go in with a finishing powder. This is the Lorac Pro brush in LP01. Just placing this in areas that I want really matte. I am still searching for a really good bronzer here in the UK. Haven't found one yet, or maybe I actually just haven't given myself the time or permission to move on from this Juvia's Place bronzing duo. As you can see, mine is completely battered. I've touched pan on it, but it's so good. It is so good. They've discontinued them in the UK, unfortunately. You can get them from America. Apparently you don't have to pay like a customs fee. Plus, Juvia's Place's products in general, absolutely to die for, and I'd highly recommend that you actually give their site a shop. I like to use both of them, but I'm gonna focus on the top one today using a slanted Morphe brush. This is the Morphe E4 brush. Again, the key technique to really good makeup is to tap this into place. It's gonna build up ever so slightly. For blush, I'm actually gonna use this blush. This little small mirror I was using throughout this video. This is the Doll Beauty Take Me to the Peach blush. I'm gonna use this, which is also from Doll Beauty. It actually doesn't have a number, but it's like a set that you get for like, I think £75. And we're just gonna place it up here, like into underneath the eye, blending away that powder. I do love a lot of blush. I am a blush babe, so I'm gonna use quite a bit. Blush gets me excited. You see, when I put blush on, that's when I know, okay, cool, we're coming to the ending of the look. Like, let's wrap it up. And then the tiny bit of the residue of the blush on my nose. I feel like I should do a whole separate video on the brushes that I use, because I actually haven't changed my brushes for years, and I actually haven't introduced any major new brushes to my kit either. They all are like smaller, similar brushes to each other because I just love them so much. But we're going to get rid of now all of that setting powder all over our face, and I'm using the Real Technique setting brush in the shade 402. This is a multi-purpose brush. It's that girl. We're literally just gonna like blend out, like tapping motions, swiping motions. I like to do like the tap swipe motion, and I actually just kind of tap the product into my skin because we're not trying to waste any of the product. Come on now. And even if you look ashy, don't worry, because the finishing spray is gonna melt it into your skin. We want to go back in with the brush that we used for blending out the concealer, and we're just gonna blend out the eyelid with any residue that is on this brush. And you're also gonna set your eyes as well. Wherever it is that you place concealer, we set that into place. And just so my eyes are not too boring, I'm going back in with my bronzer, same shade. I'm going to use that as if I'm using an eyeshadow, and I'm literally just gonna place it on my eyelid just to bring slight depth. And I'm gonna blend it up here to the front of the brow and just blend out the edges. You don't want to do too much, so this is what it should look like. No bronzer, bronzer. It kind of just makes my eyes seem a bit filled. You should have something like this. Going back in with this Morphe finishing spray. It's not a setting spray, it's a finishing spray. A finishing spray melts all the products and powders together as one and makes it more skin-like. My lashes and liner are done. These lashes are from Shein. If I can find the barcode number, I'm gonna apply it in the video. I thought this would be like the perfect time for me to set my face. So I'm gonna set my face with the Milani Make It Last setting spray. And what a setting spray does, it sets your makeup in place so that it holds throughout the day. And this is supposed to have like a natural finish. This is supposed to be waterproof and sweat proof. It's a lightweight spray that locks in makeup for up to 24 hours. I actually really like this setting spray, and you can't go wrong. This is the jumbo size, by the way. When I saw they did a jumbo size, if you ever saw how quick I flew to the checkout for this. So I'm actually going to contour with the MAC Chestnut lip liner. It's an OG lip liner. Everyone has probably heard of the Chestnut lip liner. You can't go wrong. It is really beautiful brown shade. I concentrate so hard when it comes to my lips because my lips are just, especially my top lip, there's just nothing really there. When I smile, it just disappears. So I am going to be dead silent. Just know we're on lip liner done, and straight into a pigmented lip gloss. A highly pigmented lip gloss. I love a good plumping gloss. This is a plumping gloss and it's absolutely fiery. I feel like it's even more spicier than the Too Faced lip injection. This is the NYX Duck Plump. It is in the shade Nude Swings. This is what she looks like. Look at that. It's just so highly pigmented, like you don't need a lipstick. And then I'll just top the outskirts with this e.l.f. lip plumping gloss. I don't really see this as a lip plumping gloss, but the color is really nice. This is really cute, but I feel like we could go a bit more with it. So we're gonna go with the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip gloss in the shade Guava. I'm just gonna place like a tiny bit of this in the center of my lip, just to lighten it up a bit. Now for the finishing touches. This is where we add on any highlight if we want highlight, add on mascara, add on the extra little beauty spots, and fill in the ends of our brows. I don't feel like I need to. And just like that, this is the finished look. I literally get the most compliments on this routine, or even the everyday makeup routine that I do, where I literally just do skin tint and not add on too much. Girl, I need to put you onto that look as well. But this is the routine that you go for when you want to wear like a full face beat, but you still want to keep it cool. Like, you can't go wrong. Like, I still look like me, just elevated. This is my updated 2025 makeup look. Hope you guys thoroughly enjoyed this routine. Remember to subscribe to the channel and get on to me if I don't post again. If you really like this video, give me a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.